Welcome to the Computer Literacy Center's online instructional video about using Google Drawings to create custom diagrams for your Google Docs. My name is Brett Johansson, and I will be guiding you through this tutorial. In this video, we are going to create a custom diagram for our Google Doc using Google Drawings. We will create and arrange shapes on the canvas, add text to our shapes, and connect our shapes with arrows. Let's start with a blank document. To add a drawing, we click on the Insert menu, then Drawing, then New. A blank canvas pops up with its own toolbar along the top. To add a shape, we click on the Shape icon, then hover over the Shapes option, and click on a simple shape we like. I'll choose the rounded rectangle. Click and drag on the canvas to create the shape you selected. This shape can be modified using the new settings that appeared on the toolbar. Let's change the color. To do that, we click on the Fill Color icon and select a color we like. I'll choose dark purple. For this part of the diagram, we want 3 total shapes, so we need 2 copies of this shape. To make the copies, we select the shape and press Ctrl-D twice. We can move these copies individually around the canvas by clicking on them and dragging. Let's arrange them so they are all in a row, like this. For our 4th shape, we'll add an image to make the diagram more interesting. To do so, we click on the image icon. This displays a pop-up window that lets us insert an image from a variety of sources. We'll search for an image so we can add it quickly. To do so, we click on the Search tab, type Puppy, and click Search. This shows us a large selection of puppy images from Google to add to our drawing. Choose any image you like. I'll choose this one. Once we've chosen an image, we click the Select button in the bottom left corner, which adds that image to the drawing. The image probably isn't the size we want. To resize the image, we click on it and drag from the corner. We want the image to be about the same size as the shapes we created earlier. When we're happy with the size of the image, we move it so it's centered below the shapes we added before. To make it stand out even more, we can change the shape of the image's outline so it isn't a rectangle. To do so, we select the image and click the downward arrow next to the Crop Image button called Mask Image. This displays the same drop-down menu that we used to create shapes before, but this time it'll modify the image instead of creating a new shape. From here, we'll select the Shapes option and select the heart. Now, the image has a heart border around it. Lastly, we should give the image a border so that it matches the shapes better. With the image still selected, we click the Border Weight icon and select 1 pixel. Our diagram is going to show 3 steps that someone would take to get a dog, ending with them getting a dog. We've shown them getting a dog with the image at the bottom, but we still need to type out the steps required to get the dog in our 3 shapes. To insert text into a shape, we double-click on the shape and type the text. I'll type "want a dog" into the first shape, "look for a dog" into the second shape, and "buy a dog" into the third shape. We want to make changes to all 3 of our shapes. Rather than making changes to each shape individually, we can select all of them and make the changes once. To select multiple objects, we hold down the Shift key and click on each of the objects we want to modify. In this case, we want to make sure that the 3 shapes along the top are selected, like so. Now, let's align the text with the center of our shapes. To do so, we click the Align icon and select Center. We also want the text to take up more space in the shapes. To change the font size, we click on the font size, type the size that we want, and hit Enter. I'll type 28. We want it to be clear what order the steps should be taken in. This is often accomplished by adding arrows between each of the steps, connecting them together. We start by clicking the downward arrow next to the line icon called Select Line. From the drop-down menu, we select Arrow. Now, when we hover over each of our steps, we can see small purple circles on their sides. These are guides telling us good places to attach an arrow. Let's click on the purple guide on the first step that is closest to the second step. This creates an arrow. To connect this new arrow to the second step, we click and drag the end of the arrow until it locks onto the second step. Notice that our tool has changed to the Select tool, so in order to add more arrows, we need to click on the arrow icon to the right of the Select button. Next, we want to connect the second step to the third step. To do that, we click on the purple guide on the second step that is closest to the third step, then click and drag the end of the arrow until it locks onto the third step. If we use the same procedure to connect the third step to the image at the bottom, then the arrow will overlap with the image. To avoid that, we'll use an elbow connector. We click the Select Line downward arrow at the top again and select Elbow Connector. Now, if we click on the purple guide along the bottom of the third step, we see that it creates a line with a bend in the middle. However, if we click and drag the end of the line to the top of our image, the bend in the line will snap up to the bottom edge of the steps. To fix this, we start by selecting the third step and temporarily moving it up. Now, if we click on the end of the line and connect it back to the third step, the bend in the line will be in the middle again. Now we can move the third step back to its original position. Because we use the elbow connector, our new line doesn't have an arrowhead on the end. To add an arrowhead to the end of the line manually, we select the line and click on the line end icon. From the drop-down menu, we select the arrowhead that matches our other lines. The arrows that we've created are thin, which makes them difficult to see and understand. Let's increase the line weight of all of the arrows. We can again hold down the Shift key and select each of the objects we want to modify. In this case, we want to make sure that all three of the arrows are selected, like so. Now, we click on the line weight icon and select a larger weight. I'll select 4 pixels. Our diagram is now complete. To see the drawing in our Google Doc, we click the Save and Close button in the top right corner. If we want to edit our diagram later, we can select it and click the Edit button that appears at the bottom of the drawing. In this video, we created a custom diagram in Google Docs using Google Drawings. We created custom shapes and images, arranged them on the canvas, and added text and arrows to the diagram. With some creativity, drawings can be used to create professional diagrams and graphics to enhance your documents in a wide variety of scenarios. For more information about Google Docs and other computer literacy topics, visit our website at weber.edu/clc.